Okay, so welcome to this webinar today. I hope you are all doing good today, guys. Um, First of all, I have to apologize for not making it in time. We have some connection issues, but I got it fixed, and now we can get started without wasting any more time. So today we're going to talk about the full triple confluence strategy, but the most important thing is that we're going to talk about the confluence strategy and why we choose to talk about the confluence strategy and why we choose to even teach you how to use it today. Because many people have been trading for a very long time, but they have been losing money because either they are using one single indicator or they are using just the chart or the candlestick to make their analysis. And for that reason, the market will not always be correct. You can be using RSI, but RSI cannot guarantee you 100% or even 50% win rate all the time. Sometimes RSI would be correct, and sometimes RSI will not be correct. And the same thing goes with all the rest of the indicators. And so a confluence strategy is a strategy whereby you combine three different indicators to give you one equal result. When, for example, you have moving average, you have RSI, and you have fractal, sorry, and you have fractal indicator, and you're using these indicators at the same time while looking at the chart or looking at the candlesticks, and all the three indicators give you the same result. They both give you a buy signal or a sell signal. That means you now have a strong signal and a strong conviction that the trade would end up being successful and that you're going to be winning the trade. And that would boost your confidence, knowing that you have three different indicators telling you that this trade is going to go up or this trade is going to go down. And so you would be fine, and you can place your order, and chances are you would succeed and you would win the trade. And so later on we're going to enter the chart where I will show you how you can set up your strategy and how you can use these indicators for the whole confluence strategy. But I'm just explaining how the confluence strategy works and what is confluence strategy. And so in today's strategy, we will be using EMA. EMA 7 would be our first moving average indicator, and then we will be using EMA, which is the slower indicator. They are both moving averages, but with different periods. And so when you have period 7, it will move a little bit faster than the period 14, which you will see how they both work later in the live stream. And also we will be using RSI. And so RSI would show us or will tell us that this chart or this market, how strong is it and how strong are the buyers in this market. For example, if we are looking at a buy signal, we would see how strong are the buyers in that market and whether or not the buyers can overwhelm the sellers, and the trade or the chart will go up because will end up going up because the buyers overwhelm the sellers. Or if we're looking at a downward trend, we look at the RSI to know whether the sellers will overwhelm, the sellers are stronger than the buyers in that market, and then the sellers will overwhelm the buyers, and then the chart or the market will end up going down. And so that is why the name RSI is relative strength index. And so you are looking at the strength of the market between the buyers and the sellers, because the entire market is a sort of a war between the buyers and the sellers. The buyers in the other hand, and the sellers in the other hand. And so then the next are the fractal indicators, which are like just a road sign that will tell you to stop or to continue going or to sort of turn around or whatever. They are just a red and yellow, red and green colors that would help you or tell you that this chart or this market is going up or it is going down. And so I'll show you also how to use them in this live stream. And by the end of this live stream, my goal is to equip you with this powerful, very powerful tools and indicators that you can be using, which will help you in your trading journey and will help you become a profitable trader if you're using these strategies. But one thing that would make you, even with the most powerful strategy, one thing that will make you lose trades or continue to lose trades is not just the indicators or the strategies or even the tools that you are using. It is your mindset, your mentality. That is why they said trading is a 90% psychology, or 80% psychology and 20% strategy. And what that means is that when you are trading and you just focus on the tools that you are using and you end up losing trade, then something will trigger your mind, something in your brain will tell you that now that you lose, for example, let's say you have $100 in your trading account, and you said, well, I'll be trading with $10, and then you lose $10, and then the next trade you will say, let me add $20, so that if I win, I will end up making, not only making my $10 back, but I will also make profit. So, but what you haven't calculated is, what if you lose? Because chances are you might possibly lose the trade. And so what if you lose? Now, if you lose, your disappointment it has doubled. Now you lose $30, which is 30% of your entire trading account, and that would be very bad for you. And so, which is why it is very important for you not to be doing what we call a revenge trade. And so a revenge trade is a situation where a trader loses some certain amount of his capital, and then he said he's going to claim that money back, and then he will lose, and then he will lose again. Instead of him to stop and leave the chart entirely and come back later or even tomorrow, he will continue trading until he blew his account up, and that would be a game over. And in this game, the most important thing is not losing your account, because it is like a soldier with his rifle and his bullet. If a soldier loses his rifle in war zone, or at the middle of a war or fight, it is game over for him, because he now have no tool or no weapon to fight. And so your weapon here is your capital, and so you have to protect your capital at all costs. And it is your mentality that will protect you and protect your capital, not your strategy. Okay, your strategy will help you grow your account balance, and grow your capital over time. But it is your psychology and your mentality that will help you protect your capital and grow your capital even further. And so we will continue to talk about the confluence strategy, and then we will get into the chart in no time. Okay, let me look at the okay. Awesome. Well, I will be answering your questions. So if anybody has any question, you can simply ask in the chat below. Okay. Awesome. Okay, guys, I'm joining you now in the chat so that I can be answering your questions. Okay. I got it. Okay. So yeah, I am with you now in the chat. So thank you, guys. I can be able to answer your questions and anything you might have. So back on the confluence strategy, now we'll talk about the entries and how the entire strategy works. And here's the roles in plain terms. So I've already explained the tools, which are the three tools. And so that is why we call the strategy the triple confluence strategy. And here's how it works. So the entry rules in plain terms, you can look at the PDF guide. We will possibly make it available to you all. And so the yellow EMA, or the moving average, what EMA means is exponential moving average. And so they are all moving averages. And so we just shorten the exponential moving average because it is quite long, and it is the same thing in your chart or in your in IQ option when you go to. But I will show you how you can find the EMA and all the rest of the indicators. And so our 7 EMA, which is the fastest, or which is a little bit faster than the 14 EMA. So when we have the EMA 7 and it crosses above the EMA 14, and it is going in an upward direction, that is number one signal. And then number two signal is that RSI is above 50, which means that the buyers are overwhelming the sellers, and that the market is going up, or the market is bullish or in a bullish mode because the buyers are stronger than the sellers. And so that is the second signal. And the third signal is the fractal. And so when you have a fractal coming below a red candle, it is indicating that the market is gonna go up. Is gonna go up exactly. And when you have a green fractal coming above a red candle, it is indicating that the market is gonna go down. And so that will be your third signal. And so when you combine these three different indicators, it means that you now have a powerful or a very strong signal that the market is either going to go up or is either going to go down, and that you will have a strong conviction that when you place your buy order or your sell order, your trade is going to be successful, and that you're gonna end up winning the trade. And so that is how the strategy works, or the indicators as well works. And so I'm just breaking down, but I have explained how it works to you, but just a breakdown of each tools. EMA 7 against EMA 14. when EMA 7 crosses above EMA 14, this tells you that the moment or the momentum is a short-term momentum, and that it will flip direction relative to the slower average. As for the example that I gave you, that the market is gonna go up, and so it is your first signal or the fastest signal or something. So it is telling you that something is changing, and so now you're gonna put your eyes on the RSI and the fractal, because you get your first signal, and vice versa. The same thing goes up for the, if it is EMA 14 that crosses above EMA 7 in a downward direction, you have to look at the direction, not just the cross. Sometimes it would cross, but it will not continue the momentum. And that is why we are using the confluence strategy, because the confluence strategy is there to tell us that EMA 7 is right, EMA 14 is right, RSI is right, and also fractals are right. So so that we do not make mistakes, and that and we have a strong conviction that the market is gonna go in our direction. And that is why even the timing, we're going to be using either 3 minute or 5 minute, because the momentum is a short-term momentum, and so you have to seize your opportunity as fast as possible and as quick as possible. And so the same thing goes for the fractals. You just add the fractals with their default setting. And so a fractal, what a fractal will do, even though I explained it to you, but just so that beginners will understand clearly how it works. Also the RSI. So when you have RSI below 50, this is your momentum filter. When it is below 50, it means that the sellers are now stronger than the buyers. And so when you have only the cross, that means the cross isn't enough for you. You have to use the RSI confirmation to confirm that the momentum is genuinely supportive of your direction. Either it is going down or it is going up. So when you have it below 50, it means that the sellers are overwhelming, or the sellers are stronger than the buyers. And when it is above 50, it means that the buyers are stronger than the sellers. And for the fractal, just like I explained it to you, it is a point where price already reversed once. And so when you have your EMA cross and the RSI conditions are happening, or like they are the RSI is above 50 or it is below 50, depending on where the momentum is going. And now you have the fractal indicator coming either above a green candle or below a red candle. Now you have 3 different indicators that you can use, and then you can execute your trade. And so we're gonna move forward. And so now we're gonna talk about your entry and your expiry timing. So once your 3 confirmations are in place, okay, we are having some people asking to join. So okay, I will join you. Okay, guys, I'm joining you in the chat. Seems like I am having some issues, but I'll leave this for later. Okay, so we are talking about the timing and your expiry minute or time, whatever. So once you have your 3 confirmations in place, or once your 3 confirmations are in place, so you now have a strong signal and a strong conviction that not only you're going to execute the trade, but that the trade is going to be a winning trade. And so the standard entry or expiry window is the 5 minutes, because when you're using the 5 minute time frame, it gives you enough time to sort of develop after your EMA, RSI, and fractal confluence appears, and it gives the chart or the momentum enough time for any volatility to happen before your trade expires. And so the 5 minute is sort of the standard window if you would be using it. And then there is a faster alternative, which is the 3 minute time frame. You can use the 3 minute time frame when the market is much more volatile, or when there is a much more volatile conditions on the chart or in the market, or even when the crossover and the RSI confirmation are both sort of very sharp and immediate. For example, when you think that the market would reverse, will not take time to reverse before your trade expires. So the best way to execute your trade, or the best timing to use, is the 3-minute time frame, so that you would win your trade before the chart or the market reverses, either if it is going up or it is going down. So before the market reverse, you have already entered your trade or execute your trade, and you will be able to win your trade before the chart turn against you or something. And so you have to enter as close as possible to the candle where the EMA cross confirms the RSI is already on the correct side of the momentum, either above 50 or below 50. And waiting for too many candles after like cross reduces the edge, since you sort of since the move may already be like underway. And so you can it is sometimes very important for you to wait for like some candles to reduce, depending on what direction the market is going. It just what matters is the direction of the market. If it is going down or it is going up, what is the strength of the chart? What is the strength of the market? And what is the strength of the buyers or the sellers on both sides? And so these are the rules for your entry and your expiry time. You have to don't just enter as soon as you have you see the cross happen, because sometimes it might be a fake signal. Sometimes it might not even go in that direction. So you have to wait for the rest of the signals to confirm that the market is gonna go in that direction. And so when you saw the cross already happen, don't execute your trade. Be patient and wait for the RSI. Or if the RSI is already there and you now have the cross happen, wait for the fractals, because sometimes the fractals will give you something very important, which is the fractals might appear and then disappear. And so when you decided to use only the fractals and the RSI, or only the fractals and the crossing, and then the fractals disappear after you execute your trade, now you will be in a very terrible situation, thinking that your trade is not going to be successful. And the reason why the fractals disappear is because the signal is fake, or the momentum is sometimes it's not even fake, but the momentum is just changing very fast, very quickly. And so you have already entered a buy trade, but now the market is just reversing very fast because of for some reasons, or something happened behind the scene, something that you cannot see in the chart, something that has to do with the fundamentals. I'm sorry. So that is very important for you to be patient and to wait for all the three signals to give you a confirmation that, yeah, this is going to be a successful trade, and you can actually execute it. And so I think we can now sort of talk about the checklist, and then we can enter the trade as the chart as soon as possible. And so here's a confirmation checklist. You can have a piece of paper and write your confirmation checklist. You can write the confirmation steps on a paper, and then write your yellow EMA, which is EMA 7. I mean EMA 7, which is the fastest, and then the EMA 14. And so when the yellow EMA, which is the 7 EMA, cross above the red EMA 14, that is your first signal. Then you can sort of tick that the first signal had happened. And then the RSI, which is at its default setting, it is above 50 for a buy option, or below 50 for a sell option. So at that moment, or at the moment the cross happen, you get your second signal. Sometimes the fractal will appear even before the RSI cross below or above 50, and sometimes the fractal will not appear until the RSI has already crossed. And so what matters is that you wait for all these three signals. And so you saw the yellow EMA or the 7 EMA crossing above the 14 EMA, or the 14 EMA crossing below the 7 EMA, your first signal. The RSI is above 50 or below 50, depending on the market direction or the momentum, your second signal. And then your fractal appears either below green, above a green candle or below a red candle, your third signal. And then you have to decide whether your entry will be 5 minutes or 3 minutes. And so how can you decide whether your entry will be a 5 minute or 3 minutes? So when you see that the chart are moving very fast, or the market is just moving very fast, or the candles are sort of very small candles, then you can use the 3 minute because it would the time the trade would finish or would execute faster than the 5 minute. And when the market is much more stable, you can use the 5 minute chart in case if anything would happen in between, you know that you would still be okay, and your trade would be successful. But you can go with the 5 minute standard as the standard window. And when you see that the chart is changing or the market is changing very fast, you can use the 3 minute time frame or expiry. And then your position sizing, it has to be a fixed, a small percentage of your account. Never don't look at the tutorials on YouTube, or look at professional traders or expert traders betting their entire amount in a single trade, and think that you will do the same. It just doesn't matter whether you want to make as much money as possible or whatever. What matters the most is you do not blow your account. You do not blow up your account. You do not lose your account, because as soon as you lose your account, it is a game over for you. And so try as much as possible not to lose your entire capital. And so you have to use 10%, 20%, 15% of your entire capital. Sometimes even 2%, 3% is okay, 4% is okay. You can be trading. If you are trading with just 3% of your account, you have a lot of options. It will take a very long time for you to lose as many trades as possible for you to blow up your account, which will be close to impossible, because it will not just be possible for you to lose maybe 20 trades. Like that would be crazy. And so you would have options and many entries before you lose your account. And that's what matters, is that you do not lose your account. You lose a small percentage and you recover right after that. But if you put 100% of your entire capital and then you lose in the first entry, that means it is game over for you. And it will hurt you, because it is a real money. You are using your own money to trade, and you just set your own money on fire. Like that would be crazy. And so you have to protect your capital at all costs. It is your rifle as a soldier in the middle of a fight or in a war zone or whatever. So I think now we can get into the chart so that I can show you how you can set up your indicators and also look at a trade or yeah. So yeah, we're gonna switch to the chart so that okay. Awesome. Okay, let me add the code for you guys. Let me add the code for you so that okay. Okay, guys, let me add the code for you. Just give me a minute. Okay, here you go. Okay, okay, here's the code. I hope you can all see it. So here's the code. Some of you are asking about the code. So here's the code. I hope you can all see it. So we're gonna transition now to the chart so that I can actually show you how you can set up your indicators exactly. Okay. So let me reduce this so that we can see it clearly. Okay, I hope everyone can see the code, right? Exactly. We would be using all the three indicators at the same time. Okay. Here's the QR code. I'm sorry, bonus code, whatever. You can risk-free code, which you can use to actually you have to deposit right now. So if you haven't deposited, you can just proceed, and if you're using your demo account, it just doesn't matter. Now you have to pay real attention to see how you can set up your indicators and how the strategy works entirely. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is when you open your chart, your IQ option trading account, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna come this section. But the first thing we have to do is change this line, the trend line, to chart. So we have to change the chart type from this line or trend line to candlesticks. So you come here and click candles. Um, so there are two different candles. There are the Japanese candles, but we're just gonna be using the standard candles, and so these are the candlesticks that we're gonna be using. So you just click candles, and so as you can see now we have uh, the candlesticks. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is change the candlestick time frame to 1 minute. You can come right here. You can see candle time period. So the default would be 5 seconds. So it is very important for you to change the candlestick time frame so that you can be having a clear picture or a clear image, of what is actually going in the market and will help you make a better decision when executing your trade. So we're going to be using a 1 minute expiry time for the candlestick, not for our trading time. Okay, the candlestick time frame. So we choose 1 minute. And what this means is that after every 1 minute, we would have a new candlestick. So here's a candlestick. And so after 1 minute, then you're gonna have this candlestick. So it means that now you knew what is actually going on in the chart. When you look at the chart, you knew that every candlestick create or will be created or appear after 1 minute. So their expiration time is just 1 minute. Okay. So the next thing is we're going to choose our indicators. So you're going to come to the indicator section right here and click indicators. And then if you do not see moving average, you can come right here and search moving average. But here is a moving average, and you can just click it and search and click moving average. And so when you come into the chart section, you look at the indicator section, you would see the default would be SMA. So you have to change the SMA to EMA. Okay, this is very important. Now we have the EMA 14. And then the lines, you can change them to thicker lines so that you can see the lines clearly. These are very thin lines, but you can change them to thicker lines so that you can see them clearly. Okay, we are changing it to thicker lines, and here is the color. So we're going to change this color to yellow. You can use green, you can use whatever color you are comfortable with. The point is just use colors that would be visible to your eyes, and you can understand them. And so 7. So this is our EMA 7. The period is 7. The type of the moving average is exponential moving average. Color, you can use any color you want, green, blue, whatever, it just doesn't matter. Just use the color that you would be comfortable, or would be visible to you. That's what matters. And so then the thickness of the lines, we change it to thicker lines, not those thin lines. Okay, and click apply. And so this is the first EMA, or the EMA 7. Now the next EMA is the EMA 14. You just come back to the indicator section, moving average, you click it. It is already EMA 14. You change SMA to EMA, and then color is already red, so we leave it red. And then you change the lines to thicker lines, and then you click apply. And so now we have our two indicators, the two EMAs. Okay, so the next indicator we're gonna be using is the RSI indicator. So you come back to the indicator section, and you can look for, if you haven't seen RSI already, you can just search RSI. So as you can see here, it is relative strength index. So you just click it and leave the settings, the default settings. Okay, overbought is around 70 and oversold is around 30. Okay, I would explain what overbought means and what oversold means. Okay, so just to be clear, what overbought means is when the chart, or when the lines are above the 70 line. Okay, here is the 70 line and here's the 30 line. The red line is the 30 line. So when they are not even above 70, but I mean above 50, above 50 is around the middle here. So when they cross the upper line, the upper green line, that means the chart is now at overbought zone, and that the buyers are already exhausted, or the buyers are exhausting, and that the chart or the market is gonna reverse, and the momentum is gonna shift it from a bullish momentum to a bearish momentum, because the buyers are already exhausted. And when it is below the 30 right here, okay, when it crosses the red line below, that is the oversold. It means that the buyers are the sellers are already exhausted, and that the market is gonna reverse and start going in an upward direction, or with the momentum will shift it from a bearish momentum to a bullish momentum. And so that's what this means. Okay, and so our next indicator is the fractal indicator, of course. So you come back to the indicator section, you can see here is the fractal right here. But if you haven't seen it in your in your device, you can just search fractal and it will appear. So you have to be clear. Just choose the fractal, not the fractal chaos bands, not the fractal oscillator, the main fractal. You just click it, and then you click apply. You leave the random settings. And so here, as you can see now, here are the fractals. They have already appeared, and you can see what happened. If it appeared below a green candle, the market tends to be going up, and when it appears above a red candle, the market seems to be going down. And here's a very clear picture of our strategy. Now you have a fractal appearing right here, okay, and then you have the cross happening around here, okay, and around here you can see that the RSI is below 50. So when you enter your trade around this section, at 3 minute or 5 minute, chances are you would be very successful, or your trade would be very successful. And so now that we have the indicators applied, the next thing we're going to do is to add many more assets that we can trade with, so that we can have different options or different assets that we can trade with, so that we can have better options. It's a matter of opportunity. Opportunity might appear here and might not appear there, and might appear here and might not appear in another asset. So it is very important for you, or it's a good thing to have different options. Okay, so when you come into the asset section, you knew that there are currency pairs, and then there are stocks, as the ordinary stocks that you know, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, any other stock that is listed in the stock market, you can trade it here. And there are cryptocurrencies where you can trade with Bitcoin, Ethereum, any other coin that is listed in the platform. You can trade with it, and also you can trade a natural asset like oil and gas and crude oil and whatever. And so you can come to the option section right here, and you can see there are many options here. But here is a currency pair, GBP USD, which is the Great British Pound against the US dollar. And so around here, I can see that there is a very good indicator that now we have a fractal right here above. We have the crossing half right here, but it haven't crossed. The momentum is really a bearish momentum, right? But the yellow EMA haven't crossed above the red EMA or the 14 EMA, and so for that reason we cannot enter this trade. And as you can see, the market is already in reverse. You know, there's some volatility, even though the RSI at the time is somehow somewhere below 50, but now it is even going to oversold section, and so that is a very risky place for you to execute a trade. But the momentum might be going, but just not for us. Okay, so we're gonna add another currency pair as well that we can have. There's a Euro USD, you can add it as well. Okay, it's such a very bullish market, and let's look for another 10 USD. If you're looking for any currency pair or any asset, you can just search the asset and it will appear before you, and you can just choose it, or you can just click it. But there are many options. An IQ option, of course. This seems to be a very stable market, and I love this currency pair because sometimes this market is such a very stable market. Okay, so right here we are about to see something. Okay, but we're gonna pay attention. It seems like something might happen here. Okay, it is SpaceX. Oh my god, that's my bad. Okay, so we missed an entry around here. Okay, you have the fractal appearing right here and the crossing happening around here, and the market is above 50, and right after that the market seems to be going up, but it is 5 minutes whatever. So okay, so as you can see, we still don't have a clear entry. So you have to be patient. It just doesn't matter if you're going to wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes before you have an entry. It is better for you to wait 20 minutes to succeed, or to have a successful trade or a profitable trade, than to rush entry and lose your trade or lose your entire capital or something. So it is very important for you to wait and to be patient, because patience in trading is very important. And so let's look at Japanese yen, JPY. Okay, let's see Australian dollar. So AUD. I knew that some of you knew what those words means, but AUD is actually Australian dollar. and then JPY is the Japanese yen. And so yeah, but I guess you knew what those things means. Okay, we have something around here, but I just don't like the view. Okay, it just the cross happened, but it doesn't seem to be going in an upward direction. But maybe we can have a sell option here um, when the market decided to actually change. So we might have something around here, but I'm gonna answer your questions. So guys, if you have any questions, you can just ask. I would actually answer. Okay, sorry, that might be the case. Okay. Okay. Something is happening in Euro USD. So we have a crossing right here, but even though we can use this fractal as a signal, but we can try a 3-minute. We're supposed to have a fractal around here, but maybe we can use 3-minute right here, but we need a fractal around here. It's not happening. Oh wow. So this is an oversold, overbought section, and it might be a successful trade, but I want to make sure that I give you what I explained so that everything would go according to plan, of course. So let's see here. It's not happening. This is such a bullish market, but the only problem is that it is around the overbought section, and so it will not be wise to actually um, execute the trade. Okay, we might have something here. Okay. Okay, guys. So if anybody has any question, actually you can ask so that we can answer your questions. Um, which confluence you think the most important to less important? Maybe you can rank it. Well, actually, well, one thing I would say is that at least three different indicators. Okay, even if you have two different indicators that you are using, then the third signal might be the chart itself. So you have to have a very strong conviction before you enter your trade, because sometimes even your confidence matters. And so when you have a very low confidence, or you think that the market is not actually gonna go into your direction or in your direction, I think that would be a very bad trade to execute. So I think it is very important for you to have at least three different confluence. Someone might use five different indicators or tools. Um, that is good, but I think it would take some time before all your five indicators match or give you signal at the same time. But just think about having five different indicators giving you the same signal, telling you that the market is going to go up or the market is going to go down. I think you would have a very strong and powerful conviction that this trade is actually going to be a successful trade and that you're going to win the trade. And you'll just, you'll be like, you have an overconfidence that the market is actually gonna go into your direction. So I think it is just very important for you to have like three different indicators to use as a confluence strategy. So that would be my take here. And I'm just looking at some of your questions. Okay. Well, it's gonna. I don't know, but I think that is just, I would just say like the most important thing for you is just to take note of the indicators and the settings. I think that would just be like the most important thing for you to do, just in case. Okay, then um, I guess it's not lagging now, is it? Let's look at GBP USD. We have a crossing here, but we don't have. I don't know. We actually need a fractal around here. Okay. I want to give you one. Oh God, something is happening right here, but we're just not active. Also here, something is happening. So we might have two entries. So we're looking at both pen USD and we have a crossing in pen USD, but we need a fractal, and also it is around the oversold section of position. So and that'll be a good entry, and it is reversing here. So as I have already told you guys, the most important thing is that to be very patient when trading. You have to make sure that you have all the three indicators, because right here, as you can see, if you execute trade around this section, it would no doubt, undoubtedly be a losing trade. Same thing goes here. If just because the crossing you decided to sell around here, you might be able to, you might end up losing your money. And also here, before it is about to cross downward, and now it has changed. And so it is just very important for you to be patient and to wait until you have a clear entry, and then you can execute your trade. But don't rush your entries, and don't rush your sort of trades, because you might end up losing a trade, and that would be very bad thing for you to happen. Although it will teach you a lesson to actually be patient in your next trade, but you will learn that would be learning the hard way. And so it is I think very important for you to exercise patience while you are in the market and while you are trading. And so you can test this strategy, the confluence strategy, and we can discuss further in the chat on the IQ Option Global Chat Forum or channel. And so, yeah, so that we can know your experiences with this powerful indicator. But yeah, I just wanted to give you one example before we finish the live stream. but there's no clear entry up to now. Okay. Seems like everyone sort of understand what we are explaining. I cannot see many more questions, but if you have any more questions, you can actually go ahead and ask your questions, of course. Okay. Seems to be having something around here. Okay. Well, this we need a fractal here or around here. As you can see, guys, this is why I'm telling you, you have to be very patient. Otherwise, you will end up losing money, of course. So, okay, we are having something around here, but we need fractal around here, and we need the quotient to happen. It should even happen around here, like, but we're gonna wait and see what's gonna happen. Um, Also, this section we might have something here. It's not. It's also not crossing here. Okay. Thank you. Okay, now we might have something here. Okay. So around here, I think we can use this fractal. Okay, and one thing you should have done is actually wait for the next candle before you make your decision. But as you can see, it has already crossed around here, and we have our RSI above 50, and we'll just use the fractal, this fractal. But in your trades, you have to like have your fractal around here or around here. But we'll just wait and see what's going to happen in the next 3 minutes. Um, yeah. Well, so guys, you can see a fractal appearing right here, and that's why I told you already we should wait for this next candle before making a decision here. But it is just because we have already run out of time, and I just wanted to sort of show you how things work here. But as you can see, right when you see the fractal appearing here, you just have to go ahead and just close your trade, because it's not like gonna work for you. Okay, we have conflicting signals, and also not only that, but as I have told you, the fractal, we are just using the fractal that appears around here, but we should be using the fractal that would appear around here. And so this is a very good demonstration of what I was actually telling you. Otherwise, you will end up losing trade and losing your money. So, based on what happened right here, as I told you right before entry, that the first thing is we should wait for a fractal around here. That's number one. And number two, we should wait for this candle to cross to close before we make our entry, because this candle is the deciding factor, and how the EMS look around here is also the determining factor. And so now the market might be able to reverse for some reasons when you look at the EMAs, but the problem is that, or the catch here is that this fractal that appears around here, it just comes and tell us that the market is gonna reverse very fast, and we have explained this right in the beginning of the live stream. And so that's very important for you to actually take into account. And um, and so, yeah, I think that would be a great demonstration. I hope we have a clear signal today that will demonstrate to you how powerful and effective this strategy is. But I think what happened here also shows you how effective it really is in removing anything that would result it in a losing trade. And so the most important thing, or the things that you have to remember, is don't rush your entry. Wait for a clear signal before you execute any trade. That's number one. And number two is that wait for all the signals to give you their signals. Wait for EMA, RSI, and the fractal to both, or all the three, to tell you that this market is going up or it's going down. And then you can execute your trade. But don't rush your entries just because the crossing happened, or just because the RSI is above or below 50, or just because you saw the fractal and then you decide that the market is gonna. As you can see, here is a bullish market, but you can see a fractal appearing here, and this fractal is telling you that the market is going to reverse and go down. And so when you execute a trade here, it might be a winning trade and might be a losing trade, but the confusion is what will make you not trade at all around places like this. Okay, so this is very important. So now you can see that the fractal disappear, and that's what I have told you since from the beginning of this live stream. And so when there is doubt, don't trade at all. Don't put your money where you don't know what the outcome would be. Okay, so I think this would be our closing section. And so I would thank everyone for joining us today. My name is Ibrahim Zuma, and I've been a binary options trader for many years. And our goal is to teach people on IQ option how to use the platform, how to use IQ option effectively, how you can grow with IQ option, and how you can become profitable trader with IQ option and on IQ option. And so you can go ahead and test this strategy on your IQ option account, test everything as we talk about, and I will see you in the next live stream next week. Thank you guys for joining me today, and thank you guys for using the IQ option platform and for joining us in this live stream, and I will see you in the next live stream. Thank you, and see you next. Yeah, exactly. I'm just answering a question from someone around here. He's saying that this means the fractal has to appear a bit earlier or around the same time of the crossing. It has to appear not at the same time of the crossing, but sometimes it might appear at the same time of the crossing. But if the candle that the crossing happened around, if the crossing happened around the last candle, then the fractal is supposed to appear before the closing candle. Okay, so just to answer your question, it has to appear before the closing candle, of course. So yeah, I hope that answer your question. And I'll also be in the Telegram chat group so that if anybody tried the strategy, they can tell us their experiences with the strategy. And yeah, thank you guys once again for joining us today. Appreciate every one of you, the guys in the chat room, and everyone that joined the IQ Option live stream. It's been a great session, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.